everything I've seen here is truly inspiring, and it gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
The people I've met here also, I mean, you get together with people who have the same idea, the same values, and it's really, really inspiring.
Yeah. This is the Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast, and I'm your host, Maya Acosta. If you're willing to go with me, together we can discover how simple lifestyle choices can help improve our quality of life and increase our longevity in a good way. Let's get started. Hello, studios. We are at EarthX 2023, and we have Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey, Maya. It's good to be here.
I'm so excited to see you here. It's wonderful that a group of us that are vegan are also here.
Yes.
So please introduce yourself, what you do, and what brought you here today.
So my name is Vanessa Gonzalez. I am a medical hypnotherapist. I am here because I truly feel very passionate about our earth and our awareness about what it means to be truly loving, kindness, compassionate. Right?
What have you seen that has been interesting? Because there are a lot of booths out here today. And have you heard any lectures or anything else like that?
I haven't had the chance to hear a lecture yet. I'm excited about it. But everything I've seen here is truly inspiring, and it gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
The people I've met here also, I mean, you get together with people who have the same idea, the same values, and it's really, really inspiring, especially to see how many people have showed up. I just spoke to someone who said, well, there were even less people last year. And I was like, really? This is great. I mean, so it's growing. The interest is actually growing.
Would you say that even though we're in Dallas, very meat-centric, I guess, like people think of cowboys when they think of Texas and all that. What has impressed you about living in this city that you see where people are practicing sustainability and really honoring the planet? Have you seen anything that has impressed you living in Dallas?
So many things. So first of all, I want to say I lived in New Jersey for a while. I lived in San Francisco, California for a while. And living here in Dallas and in Texas, I'd never expected to find so many different options as a vegan. And I became vegan here 5 years ago. Right? Isn't it? It's so
amazing.
Inspiring. It's exciting. It's exciting to see that, people are really starting to make those shifts, and it starts with the mind, and that's why to me I guess I'm so attracted to it. Everything that comes back to involving the mind.
Yeah, when I lived in California, I've been recycling for many years. So you learn about sustainability that way, but I didn't learn about the vegan diet until I moved to Dallas, and now I believe it's one of the biggest ways that we can help our planet.
It is.
And so we talk about a lot about that on my podcast. Let's talk a little bit about what you do as a hypnotherapist, just for people who maybe have never heard of what a hypnotherapist is or does. So tell us more.
So particularly, I'm a medical hypnotherapist, which means that I can help people with their physical pain, but I actually focus primarily on fears, phobias, anxiety, and healing from a relationship with a narcissist. And I think presently we have become more and more aware of that word, narcissist. I think we've had presidents who have been, and now we're noticing that maybe we have an uncle in the family who might be, or maybe we're married to somebody like that. And it's kind of like a wake-up call, right? Because, again, that word has become more and more popular and allowed people to really understand, oh, this has a name. This person isn't just the way that they are because they're the way they are. It has a name. So I think that's also beautiful. Once we give something a name, we fear it less. But for me, what I focus, again, primarily on is the emotions and how we can heal.
Yeah.
And we really can heal ourselves. Hypnotherapy, what it really means is, the idea that you can use your mind, your creative intelligence, to heal yourself. It's really that simple and beautiful.
It is the mind as well that affects our health, especially if we've been exposed to trauma early on in a certain way of thinking. I don't want to call it negative because there are better words for that, but it's those patterns that we've had early on that could actually contribute to health issues as well. And some of those fears and things that you treat. in
I
many
love that
ways.
you said I don't want to call it negative. That's wonderful. Emotions aren't, negative or necessarily positive. They are what they are, and they have a message for us,
Yeah.
right? And the idea that, we carry stress in our body, that's not a new concept, right? It's been with us for a while. We carry stress, we carry anxiety.
Yes.
And those things, as you know, you're married to a doctor, can evolve into other illnesses, right?
Yes.
Into deeper things. So with your mind, you can turn up the volume of your peace and your healing just as much as you can turn it down.
Thank you for correcting me. I was looking for the right words. But yes, I don't want to call it negative because it's just a natural response that we have when we've been triggered or something has happened in the past. And it comes up again. So bringing it back to here, Earth X, I've had some fascinating conversations. I'm learning so much. There was a guy that came by with the electric vehicles.
I want to talk to him.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I want to test drive one of those
I do
vehicles.
too.
What else are you looking forward to in terms of being here today? And are you coming back tomorrow?
Yes, I'll come back tomorrow. I'll bring my husband. I'll
Me
bring
too.
my daughter. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to come back. The experience that I had here today really was so uplifting.
Yeah.
I look for communities like this. I look for people who truly want to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
And not just say it with the words, but actually do with their actions.
Right. Like that's part of the thing that I rarely say I'm an environmentalist because that could be like there's such a spectrum of what that
Very
is.
broad.
It's
Yeah.
very, very broad.
Yeah.
But I know internally there are things that I know that I want to work on in my life to reduce my carbon footprint or how I'm just impacting the planet.
Yeah.
If we've had conversations with other people that purchase lightly used clothing at the Goodwill. We talked about recycling, but there are other things like how we're sharing resources. I mean, sustainability and eco-friendly things can look in many have different shapes and forms.
Right.
And what I love about Earth X is what that we're showcasing those different ways of looking at life, like how we can contribute.
And
So
we're
it's
not limited. There really are more options.
Yes,
I
I'm thinking
mean-
outside of the box.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. Briefly, you just were holding some workshops at True B.
Yeah, I still do every Friday. I hold group hypnotherapy sessions. They're actually in Spanish at the moment. I can't wait to offer them in English. That's exciting for me. But right now, I hold these group hypnotherapy sessions in Spanish just to make hypnotherapy more accessible. Because when you ask me what is hypnotherapy, and I tell you, well, it's to use your creative intelligence so you could heal yourself. What does that really mean, right? So I want people to really experience it. This is kind of like the door opening up for them.
What's the best way for people to reach out if they're interested in hypnotherapy, if they're interested in attending one of these workshops in Spanish? Do you have a website, social media?
Yeah. Look me up at vghypnotherapy.com or vg.hypnotherapy on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. Give me a call. I can't wait to talk to people who, again, are willing to make the changes that are going to help themselves and help this planet.
I always believe, Vanessa, because you are in the medical aspect of it, that when you heal yourself, and heal also can be very broad, but when you begin to take care of yourself and heal aspects of your life, you function better in how you relate to people, but also your environment.
Yeah, you show up, you gear up, you take control of your life. And when I mean control, I don't mean like control of your emotions, because that's a myth. I don't believe in controlling emotions. But when you start to pay attention, when you start to really have a better communication with yourself and your body, start to listen to what your body's trying to tell you, you're more present. Then yes, you'll have more energy to be a part of the rest of society.
Well, thank you, Vanessa, for stopping by today.
Thank you very much, Maya.
You've been listening to the Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast with your host, Maya Acosta. If you've enjoyed this content, please share with one friend who can benefit. You can also leave us a 5-star review at ratethispodcast.com/HLS. This helps us to spread our message. As always, thank you for being a listener.